The funny part is, this stat is outdated. Juraj Slafkovsky at the Olympic Games, 8 total games played, and 9 goals. He might be the Terminator. He is the Terminator. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Slovakia had just defeated Team Finland earlier this morning, 4-1. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty big upset victory. In all honesty, I didn't make a video about this. Now, in hindsight, I feel like I probably should have. But I did have Finland as my second most likely to win the gold team this tournament. I was thinking it was going to be Canada, and then if I wasn't Canada, it was probably going to be Finland. I didn't really believe too much in Team USA, but hey, Finns are down. 4-1 Slovak win in the first game of the IIHF 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games for the men's ice hockey teams. And one Juraj Slafkovsky went out there and had himself a ball. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points to open up the tournament. He leads the entire group so far. And I say this as Team Sweden and Team Italy are going at it. Elias Pettersson, man, oh my goodness. He has gotten robbed by the post, by the pad. Petey, this is what he needs. He needs to go out there and start scoring some points. But more on that later. We'll get some conversation going about him later on in today's show. But Juraj Slafkovsky has gone out there with his 9th Olympic Games goal in the first game of the Olympics this season. Of course, we recognize that he had 7 goals in 7 Olympic games in 2022. He was the top goal scorer, tied for the lead in points. He was a monster, and it's why Montreal drafted him first overall. But taking a look at the goals that he had been able to score in this tournament, we are not playing the footage. The Olympics are very, very strict about copyrighted material, so we're just going to skim through it frame by frame. Look at Slaf driving down the wing, getting himself into an open lane, walking towards the goaltender, and then just outweighting the guy. Oh my goodness, look at that. He's down and out. He's able to get it right to go and beat off. Okay, I should not use that verb. UC Saros, sorry man, you got beat. But I'm not going to use that verb. That's a very bad verb to use in that context. Slaf just dances around UC Saros. The defense has no response to him. He continues his goal-scoring streak at the Olympics despite the presence of NHLers at this tournament. And it's not even just that one, because as you can see, after Eli Tolvanen tied things up 1-1 in the second period, you had Dalibor Dvorsky out of the St. Louis Blues system giving Slovakia the lead 2-1 early in the third. And then it was Juraj Slafkovsky again on the man advantage who gets the puck right at the top of the zone there. He is right at the blue line. He walks in, he grips it, he rips it, he fires, and he beats Saros from distance. How you like them apples? Team Finland, Slaf with a beautiful long shot. And it's able to go right through. 3-1 Slovak lead. They're happy. They're excited. They're in the building. Saros is shook. And then you have yourselves Adam Ruzicka, very noted Coca-Cola fan, Adam Ruzicka, going out there and scoring in the final minutes there. Empty netter goal for Ruzicka, assisted by Tomáš Tatar and Juraj Slafkovsky. Look at that, eh? 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. Not a bad start for Juraj Slafkovsky at the 2026 Olympic tournament. Look, as we had mentioned in the previous video here, when it comes to these Olympic games, the last time we saw NHL players at the games, I mean, it was a different kind of hockey that was being played. Back in 2014, the top point producers for Canada were Drew Doughty and Shea Weber. The offense wasn't really carried by one individual particular guy up on the forward core. It was a trial by committee kind of thing. And it worked because Team Canada was so spread out and even, and they were all just so skilled. It worked out very well. My point is, there are going to be players, really good players, at this International Olympic Games tournament that don't even get 3 points on the tourney in general. Like, Slafkovsky is number 1 in points. Depending on what happens over the next few days, he could very well stay there. 3 points in one game is absolutely huge at the Olympics. There are going to be so many Americans, Canadians, very talented NHL stars that are going to have fewer points than Slav at this tournament. And I guess you can say a lot of that does have to do with opportunity. Slafkovsky was going out there, he was playing hard, he was doing some really good things. Let's go over to the statistics. Can we take a look at that here? Yeah, okay. The IIHF website is pretty good. Do they have shots? No, they do not have shots. Okay, they just have goals, assists, and points. Shot chart. There we go. Okay. What is this? This is not what I was looking for. Okay, I was looking for a breakdown as to how many shots guys were able to get, but I guess that's not something that is publicly available on the website. Game summary? Is that what we need to look at? Okay, that's just what happened with the game. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Juraj Slafkovsky, where is he on this list? There's Oliver Coulier, Pavel Regenda, Dvorsky, Libor Hudacek. Where's Slav? I can't see him on this list. Am I blind? Oh, he's on the top. He's on the first one. Okay, there we go. Juraj Slafkovsky got himself 3 points. He had himself, shifts 4, I think that's what that says. 26. Total shots 4. All right, 4 shots on the tourney, plus 2. He had 20 minutes of ice time here. He's being used, man. He is being used. He was the most played forward of the night for Team Slovakia here. Only 2 players had more ice time, and they're both defensemen. Okay, that's pretty good, I see. So, Slav going out there with some pretty good work. Also, we have to give a big shout out over to Team Slovakia's goaltender. Oh yeah, Samuel Hlavaj sets the Olympic record for the Slovaks with 38 saves and a 4-1 upset over Finland. The previous was Jan Lako, who had 37 saves in 2014. Epic performance for Hlavaj, who is 44th in save percentage and 46th in goals against average this season in the AHL at Iowa. He raises the bar at the right time. Now, the funny part is, if you take a look at Hlavaj, he is a Minnesota prospect, 24 years old, and it's kind of funny because his save percentage, his goals against in the A, doesn't really look all too good. But if you go over to some of the comments over here, this is what Devin says. Hlavaj has unfortunately been the victim of Iowa wild hockey, where 4 out of 6 D-men they have are ECHL level at best, and he has been left out to dry so many times. So, I guess what we're learning now is if you put actually good defenders in front of him, he's going to do pretty well. And I think it's fair to say that Team Slovakia's D-core is probably a bit better than what you're seeing out of the Iowa Wild system. I mean, Simon Nemec, Martin Ferharvey, Eric Chernak's over here. Not every name is an NHL caliber name, but there are some pretty good ones at the end of the day. So with that said, Juraj Slafkovsky, he could very well be the Terminator at the Olympic Games. A 3-point night to open things up, and what is essentially his 10th Olympic point in 8 total games if you combine the 2022 games. He is a monster at international hockey. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.